Good evening and welcome to the Gothic Bohemian Salon. My name is Jwlhyfer and tonight we're going to be talking to you about corsets and corset training. Now, why would you want to corset train? There are many reasons. The comfort, the ability to wear fashions from another era, waist reduction, dieting as a dieting aid, because you like the way that it looks, as a body modification. There's a lot of different reasons why you might choose to do this, and all of them are equally valid. What we're going to be talking about tonight is just a basic body modification, nothing too severe, and we're just going to try to clear away some of the fallacies that you may have heard about corsets and corset training. The biggest fallacy is that corsets are painful to wear. Now, this can be true if you're wearing an inappropriate garment. A corset that's made to your measurements, properly, with the right materials and the right shape, is not going to be painful to wear. It should, in fact, be rather comfortable. It should hug you tightly where it's supposed to, and just hold you gently in other places. And it should be a pleasure to wear. There's many companies that make custom made-to-order corsets all over the United States, Europe, and the UK. And there's only a few that I can personally recommend to you. I will try to put the names down here, and you can do your continued research on those companies. So, what sort of waist reduction are we talking about here? First of all, let me just say that corset training means that you train your waist using a corset to get smaller and smaller. You actually lose physical inches off your waist by wearing corsets that are smaller. A basic reduction, just that's comfortable and you'll hardly notice at all, would be 2 inches. A slightly more constrictive reduction that would be quite noticeable but still fairly comfortable would be 4 inches. And then if you're trying to corset train, basically it goes into about 6 inches. 6 inches may seem like a lot, but you have to remember that these are distributed around the circumference of your waist. So it's not like you're lopping off 6 inches off your arm or something. It's a gradual compression along this entire area. Now, a proper corset is going to come in under the rib cage, nip in a little bit, and then dip out again over your hip bones. That is the proper shape for corset training and the proper shape for a comfortable corset. If you see corsets that have a gradual curve like this, unless you just want to wear something for fun on the outside of your clothes and not really draw it very tight at all, don't bother with them. They're not going to be comfortable. They're not going to help you with any sort of waist reduction, and you're not going to be able to use them for corset training. In fact, the only kind of corset that you can use for corset training is one that is custom made for you. And I'll be putting the names of a couple of companies down in the notes section so that you can check those companies out and go about seeing if you can find yourself a custom-made corset. One of the best companies is in San Francisco. They're called Dark Garden. They've been going since the early 90s, and they have a fairly streamlined operation at this point. They have a myriad of fabrics and styles to choose from. Their corsets are quite beautiful, and the price points are reasonable with payment plan type situations arising. I believe you put half down and then pay the balance when you pick up your corset. And you can do a waist training corset through mail order, though it is best to be fitted in person. So if you're embarking on a waist training program, what does that mean, first of all? Well, waist training is when you endeavor to reduce the circumference of your waist by 2 to 6 inches by wearing a corset that is 2 to 6 inches smaller than your natural waist. The way that you do this is by wearing the corset as much as possible. In fact, wearing it up to 23 hours a day. This will necessitate some changes in diet and exercise, and could also involve sleeping in your corset. Now, it's not necessary for everyone to wear a corset for 23 hours in order to get the waist reduction. I have known people who don't wear it for that long who are able to reduce their waist, and I was one of them. So it's possible that you might be one of those people too. You can only really find out by trying. Now, how do you know what sort of reduction to go for? One way to find out is to measure the thickest part of your upper thigh. This will give you some idea of kind of the smallest that you can expect your waist to go. You should be in the best physical shape of your life, if possible, and you should be at a normal weight for a person of your height and size. It's best, if you're going to corset train, if you do it when you're not overweight. But that said, you can corset train when you're overweight, and it can help you with the diet to stick to it and to lose more weight than you would possibly without the corset training. You aren't, however, going to be able to use the method of measuring your upper thigh to determine the size of your waist, I don't think. You might be able to, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Basically, a normal reduction for a corset, if you're just, like, say, wearing it out for the evening and you want to be fairly comfortable, is about 2 inches. So that would mean that it's 2 inches smaller than your natural waist. A more severe reduction with a bit more of noticeable feeling to it would be 4 inches. And then when you're getting into waist training, corset training, the reduction is more like 6 inches. So it's quite natural to buy a corset and have it made 6 inches smaller than your natural waistline, and to train until your natural waist is 6 inches smaller than your waistline was. Let's see. There is a prevailing idea that corsets are painful, And I just want to say that corsets should never be painful. They are meant to be made for you custom. And if a corset is made to your body custom, then it's not going to be painful. So you want to make sure that you go to a very reputable corsetier to get your corset fitted and created. The proper shape for a corset that does what we want it to do for corset training is not this gradual curve like this. It's a curve that comes in under the rib cage, goes down a bit, and then nips right out over the hip bones. Your posture will change when you're wearing a corset. It can support your back. It can be extremely comfortable, comforting, sensual, and elegant to wear, and I do highly recommend it. And corsets are not just for women. Men used to wear corsets and are, again, particularly men in the military wore corsets in the past to give themselves a more regimental look, more finished and martial appearance, and that really hasn't changed. So there are companies who make corsets for men as well, and men can waist train just as well as women can. I hope that I have given you some things to think about regarding corset training and corset wearing. If you have questions, please put them below and I will answer them. I'll try to put the names of a couple of places to order custom corsets down below, and hopefully you'll be able to visit one of these places soon to have your custom corset made. It's a pleasurable experience unlike any other and quite worth the effort. Thank you for joining me for the Gothic Bohemian Salon. Good night.